Why Battlefield 6 fans are furious. Guys, right now should be the time to rejoice. We just had a new Battlefield 6 trailer drop, and we have the new Season 1 update coming right around the corner, October 28th. These are some good times, and we should be pretty happy, right? We should be rejoicing in that. However, the Battlefield community has bigger fish to fry, and we're going to talk about that within this video here. Now, if you guys enjoy Battlefield 6 discussion, or anything Battlefield 6 for that matter, make sure that you like this video. And if you care to stay up to date with anything Battlefield 6 related, consider subscribing today. Now, it has come to my attention that we are really going in on the skin epidemic within Battlefield 6. Oh baby, it's about to get crazy in this video. So guys, we are going to talk about what the streets is saying about Battlefield 6 and how they're going about their cosmetic choices within the game itself. Some gamers aren't really tripping off of it, and others have a lot to say. So we're gonna break everything down within this video here. And trust me folks, this video is gonna be packed full of value and insight that you and I could both learn from. So let's talk about the community backlash that these skins are getting. Okay, a lot of content creators out there have a lot to say concerning this matter. And with that said, let's have a look at what some content creators are saying about the skin epidemic within Battlefield 6. Let's check it out. Charlie Intel states here, some Battlefield 6 players are calling the Season 1 Battle Pass skins unrealistic, saying the bright colors take away from the milsim skins EA could add instead. End quote. Next up here, we have content creator Kamikaze, and he states here via his community page, I seen this new rhetoric coming online, so I'm just going to say this now. If your reaction to someone wearing the new blue skin in Battlefield 6 is to not revive them, then you have absolutely a zero leg to stand on when it comes to lecturing people about how to play the game, or better yet, to call them tourists and tell them to go back to COD. This is such a toxic gatekeeping response to cosmetics that is absolutely childish and laughable. You are literally becoming the atheist of play the fucking objective / play like a team mentality that you champion and claim makes you better than the tourists. This is probably getting under my skin more than it should, but this kind of crap has no place in the community. Content creator Clean goes on to state here, literally this, the factions only need little changes to actually be pretty cool. The color schemes are all whack. On top of that, both factions share color patterns that are both alike. Each should have a distinct look and color palette. And he's saying that in reference to the comparison that we have from the original skin that's being put in the game for Battlefield 6 versus a fan-made remake here. So I have to ask my community, how are you guys personally feeling? Are you feeling the Battlefield 6 skins? Could you care less? Are you not going to revive your teammates if you see them wearing them? Oh my God, is it that serious for you guys? Be brutally honest down in the comment section below. I gotta hear from you guys. Now, with that said, we are now going to react to a fellow content creator's video. Shout out to Moy Dog. He made a video discussing the skin epidemic within Battlefield 6. And guys, I feel like this is going to be very educational for both you and I. I'm gonna add on to this discussion as we go, but guys, trust me, you're gonna wanna watch this all the way through. And please add your feedback as we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is.
It is reaction time, baby. We're about to get in here and go crazy. Okay.
So guys, you already know we're about to hop into this reaction here, but first we gotta review the contents of what's going on, okay? Shout out to Moy Dog again. His title and thumbnail reads as follows. The title of his video is Battlefield 6 is having an identity crisis. And then within the thumbnail, he states here, let's keep it real and let's keep it grounded. And then you see the iconic skin everybody's going crazy over right now. So guys, we are about to check out what Moy Dog is talking about. This gentleman here articulates himself very well within his videos, so I feel like this is not only going to be a educational piece here, we're going to get a deeper insight as to how Battlefield 6 works in a way as well. So guys, I'm not even gonna front, I am excited to hop in and see his perspective on the whole situation, okay? And I feel you and I are ultimately going to really appreciate what he has to say. It's going to make for a real good discussion. And also on top of that, guys, if you care to support Moy Dog, his links will be down in the description below. So with that said, guys, let's hop in to the reaction.
Battlefield 6 is in the middle of an identity crisis right now. With Season 1 less than a week away, we've finally gotten to see all the new cosmetics that are going to be added to the game, and, well, we're kind of getting mixed signals on what Battlefield 6 is really supposed to look like. Well, the entire internet, myself included, cannot believe that someone approved this thing.
Guys, you're gonna hear my thoughts on it at the end here, but tell me what you guys think of this skin, honestly. Be brutally honest here.
I'm dubbing this the Cat Boy. If you're a parent and you have toddlers that watch PJ Masks, then, well, sorry, you're not going to be able to unsee this one. And apparently this thing is also going to be a free skin, so you know everyone is going to wear it. We're going to have actual blueberries run around Siege of Cairo, and it's going to look ridiculous.
Yes.
Well, if you remember, back in August before the game released, Battlefield 6 producer Alex Christofi said that they wanted things to be grounded and quote-unquote also let people express themselves and have cool skins and peacock in a way like, I look pretty cool and I have this great weapon skin. Does anyone think that this looks cool? Like, this neon bright blue outfit looks like something straight out of the Call of Duty League. And then we also have things like this Razer promotional skin that looks like this character just got Nickelodeon slimed all over the place.
Okay,
There's an Assault coming in Season 1 that just finished a paintball match. We have tactical traffic cone camo for the engineer, and then we have whatever this thing is. It kind of reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, technically speaking, like if you want to be pedantic, I guess that these are grounded in the sense that they are wearing military equipment. They're not running around in suits, smoking weed and doing all this other stuff that we do see in Call of Duty, but there are ways to make these cosmetics feel realistic.
Now, I'm going to say this. Okay. I thought I was going to hold back my response and how I personally feel, but fuck it. We're here, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Now, me personally, I really don't mind skins like this, right? Like, however, I don't like us getting too overly exaggerated. I don't want us to be super muted in tone, but yet I don't want it to be super like Fortnite bright. You know what I mean? I want to strike a balance. I'm a person of balance. You know what I mean? And this right here, I don't know if it's wrong or incorrect because I haven't seen it on the field. But overall, I don't want Battlefield to turn into some, I don't know, cosmetic shit show either. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to keep it real. I'm not really a person where it's like, oh, shame on you. Bad skin, bad skin. I never been that guy. I'll keep it all the way real with you guys. I never been that guy. I personally like gamers to have fun and do their thing. However, there's a caveat to that because you don't want to get so far out of what the norm is for Battlefield, like what the core identity of the game is, that shit just goes really inherently left. You don't want that. You don't want that neither. So you have to strike a fine balance. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this balance that we're seeing? I don't know. You tell me.
Most of these may have the right gear, but they're so oddly mismatched or brightly colored that it's now starting to take away from the overall aesthetic of Battlefield 6. The live action trailer for Battlefield 6 even emphasized that individual people didn't matter. It's the role that you are playing. That is why this is such a big deal for people. It's not that the Battle Dads and Milsim LARPers are trying to change Battlefield. Battlefield 6, the developers, the producers, the marketing material, EA themselves have pushed a certain aesthetic and feel for Battlefield for months now.
Yes, he's totally right about that. He's totally right. They sold you and I on a return to form, okay? Like all the way through. And to do like a 180 here, season one, mind you folks, showing your ass much? Showing your ass much? It's kind of shaky to see this early. Again, we could strike a balance that's fair on both sides. And here's to hoping, because I don't think so. I feel like they're going to F up and kind of lean to the more crazier side still. But we'll see. We'll see.
A month after paying $70 or $100, that entire aesthetic has changed. Battlefield 6 is trying to play both sides.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the nostalgia
Fair.
of the Battlefield 3 and 4 crowd, and they're also trying to capitalize on the Call of Duty-ish monetization of character and weapon skins. And this injection of military-ish gear with bright colors is just going to slowly erode what makes Battlefield 6 really feel like a Battlefield game. That's what's frustrating about this whole thing. Like, people are making fun of the players that are upset over Catboy, but they're not holding the developers accountable for saying that we're essentially going to be able to play as John Battlefield. We didn't just have a Battle Dad convention and say, we want character models to be grounded and realistic. Let's keep it real, let's keep it grounded. The developers said that. So
Facts. You gotta hold him to the fire. He's preaching, ladies and gentlemen. I'm liking it. I'm liking what Moidoik's saying. I'm with them.
why are we now the problems or in the wrong or just complaining when we're literally just trying to hold the developers accountable for their promise?
Preach.
Some people only can spend $100 a year to buy a video game.
Yes.
Maybe they were waiting 8 years to buy this game because of this look.
Seriously, some people, again, not a lot of people could afford these prices for games anymore. And honestly, some people have really waited for this. I know folks out there that have waited this long to play a Battlefield game, like a true Battlefield experience that they can hop into. Now, it's not the full Battlefield experience that we all want and have been clamoring for forever, but we're off to a great start, right? I think we could all agree to that. Honestly, to see them deviate away from that would be heartbreaking. And it seems as though we're getting hints of that right now. And it looks kind of shaky on that front.
The worst part is, though, is this is looking to be kind of a boil the frog type process. Because if you actually take a look at all these new skins, most of them are actually pretty fine, I think.
Right.
Out of the 20 we see here.
Yeah, out of this lineup here, guys, like, what are you guys least liking? I think my man in the orange is really standing out, even though the colorway is fire. Like, the colorway is factually fire, but it's just too loud for what Battlefield's going for, right? It would have to be orange, gentlemen, and then all the way to the bottom left. Those two would be in question. Sorry, Fry Nation. Sorry, my big Fry. I love you. But those would be in question. Everything else we could honestly get around. Just the accenting colors are kind of loud in some instances. But guys, tell me what you think. Bad overall here? Are we really in trouble? Or do we have to make just slight adjustments to this picture?
I'm only really annoyed at how 4 of them really clash in terms of like color palette.
Ooh.
Look at this one. This is a cool one. It's a Ranger skin that was supposedly made with real Rangers consulting. That is cool. This Recon one isn't bad. I think honestly,
That's not bad.
These are cool, but the skull masks are a little cringe, and the paint with it, I think it's cringe, but I'm not too upset about this. There are some good, unique camos here. I think these are some pretty decent ones, but we can already see from the 4 that have kind of gone outlandishly weird that this is what's going to happen a year from now. That those 4 ones are going to be the majority. NATO at the moment is more of your standard issue faction. We can see muted colors and more regular outfits.
Yes.
Whereas PAX, I think, in my opinion, is kind of like their test bed of crazy stuff. Right now, it kind of looks like they're ready to go play in a paintball tournament. We might not be going full American Dad in Battlefield 6, but the writing is on the wall. This is a test for weird color combinations and gear combinations, and if there isn't that much of a pushback, then full speed ahead. Now, I want to ask you a question, okay? Do you think this is a good art style and visual direction for Battlefield 6?
And I'm just going to pick a side and say no. I'm going to just be very transparent here, guys. This is not the way to go for Battlefield. And again, I really don't trip off of skins like that, but if I seen a field of these folks running around, holy fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, just fucking no. No, not at all.
Okay, just yes or no. Personally, no. I don't. Not only do some of these just look kind of really bad, like Design aside, okay, let's just say the mix match gear. Let's just take that out of the equation. The colors, it's kind of like if I gave my toddlers a bunch of markers and said, hey, just color in the uniforms. They look ridiculous. It really does feel like a bait and switch from the color palette that we were sold with everything leading up to the game.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not you necessarily agree with that right now, that's fine. But I want to play a game, okay? Afterwards, after we do this little exercise, I want to ask you the same question. Is this a good art style and visual direction for Battlefield 6? Okay? Let's see if your answer changes. So, can you tell me what faction and class this character model is? Pretty easy, right? Yellow, RPGs, PAX Engineer. No problem. Okay.
Okay.
What about this one?
Okay.
Not seeing any yellow. I think I see a sledgehammer in the back. NATO Assault. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. What about this one from a distance? The head covering might have made you think recon, but if you look carefully, they do have that support gadget on their back, so PAX support.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh.
Now, which one of these is NATO, and which one of these is PAX? Well, since both factions do not have unique RPGs on their back, you can't immediately tell. You actually have to wait until the full body is exposed or they get spotted with a big red Dorito.
Okay.
Factions start to blend together a little bit. Now, who's this? Maybe she's a support player. We see the scissors, so that's kind of a good indication.
Right.
But there's nothing slinged on her back, no gadget to immediately say, hey, I'm support. And she actually has the same hood style as this PAX assault player.
Yeah.
And the zip ties on the right, they also kind of look like these adrenaline pins as well. So I'm actually not quite sure. I would guess support, but I'm not sure. And now finally, what is this character? If you said support, you're right. But if you said PAX, you're wrong. This is a NATO support player, even though she has that bright yellow coloring as PAX. And this is what I'm trying to get at here.
Okay.
When Battlefield games are good, you can immediately distinguish who is playing what. A silhouette will show you that this is an assault player, or this isn't a support player, or that they're on the German team, or this is on the Chinese team. Without you even realizing this, all these tiny details.
Battlefield 4. Oh my God, what a fucking game. Oh, go ahead, boy. Go ahead, baby.
These small details will help you more quickly identify friendly from foe, what type of gadgets this player might have. You'll be able to make these micro adjustments to your game without even thinking about it because of the art style, of the visual direction of these character models.
Okay.
From just Season 1 alone, we can already see that class-specific traits like these hoods or face coverings, they've started to bleed into other classes. It's all homogenized now. PAX themselves are also losing this immediately identifiable color palette. This bright yellow coloring is no longer PAX specific. What's odd, additionally, there's a lot of things odd, but what's also odd is that there are even skins like this one, which go against design themes the devs have made. If there's a PAX character right now that doesn't have prominent yellow on their outfit, it's usually added by yellow duct tape or some other marking, like a patch or some paint, or some type of smearing to get that yellow on here.
Right.
But this new skin doesn't have that. It's not immediately bright neon like the engineer here. It isn't your typical color, but it is kind of a muted brownish orange. From behind or at a distance, you could maybe even think this is NATO because you don't see any PAX identifiers here. Now, up close and personal, you see that little PAX logo, but this is also confusing. Now, I understand that developers have to sell skins and battle passes. That's just the gaming world we live in now, okay? But let me ask you again. Is this a good art style and visual direction for Battlefield 6?
No.
Everything is starting to merge together. And for over 20 years, this class and faction identity is what made Battlefield so successful and so memorable for so many people. I would even make the argument that fundamental gameplay mechanics in Battlefield 6, like spotting being so aggressive with the Doritos everywhere, is because of how impossible it's becoming to tell who's who.
And I said that. It's funny he said that because I felt that on the field at times. I felt that on the field. Like you're looking into some articles of war, like as you're on the field itself, and you're seeing the chaos just go down. And there's instances where you're like, who the fuck is who? What the hell's going on? And that's when you become appreciative of the information in the Dorito logos on the mini maps and things that kind of help you show who your enemy is, because sometimes it gets confusing. Now imagine 30, 40 people running around with these skins. Shit's gotta get hectic, baby. Because honestly, it doesn't go by the game design that Battlefield has set forth for the foundation of the game, right? Within Battlefield 6, it goes against the logic. It goes against the grain, so having these chaotic skins could really, really, really hinder the game and make the experience very messy and sloppy overall. And Abel Green doesn't like sloppy, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't like sloppy, besides if it's sloppy joes. I love sloppy joes with cheese every so often. I don't eat them much now, but I love sloppy joes. Fun Abel fact, but you guys see what I'm saying.
I don't even necessarily care if they added headgear like this. Just restrict it to recon so we can immediately make the connection that that's a recon player.
Yep.
Or if you do want to give support players a hoodie, that's fine, but make sure there's a faction-specific gadget on their back so we know who's who. Good silhouettes will always make for a better Battlefield. Now, a quick Google search shows that we can use real military references to make cool and unique skins in a game while keeping some form of class identity. I'm absolutely loving Battlefield 6 when it comes to gameplay. The gunplay is fun. The conquest actually on large maps is so much fun. But these visuals are already starting to trend in the wrong direction. And I'm worried that by the end of the year, we're not going to have 2 factions and 4 classes fighting on the map. Instead, we're going to have 64 individuals just shooting at each other. The aesthetic and the Battlefield we were sold for $100 a month ago is no longer that same Battlefield. And that's the biggest problem when it comes to these skins.
Ladies and gentlemen, he just killed it. Bravo to Moy Dog here. He explained it perfectly, because as we progress in this game's life cycle, the devs and I should say the corporate push from the uppers, the corporate heads, are going to force the devs to go down this route of like having flashy Call of Duty type skins. And it's just going to make the Battlefield experience that we have come to know as Battlefield fans just be something, essentially a thing of the past. Like, it's just going to progressively go the wrong way if we don't draw a line in the sand. Now, mind you, I'm not here to cause a uprising and be like, fuck colorful skins and all that. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to be objectively focused here and say, like, yo, Moy Dog is onto something. He's opening my eyes. He's definitely correct from a gameplay standpoint point of view, and also a game design point of view. We have friction here. We have friction. This is going to be a problem in the manner of gamers not accepting what's going on, right? They're like, yo, what are these skins? I'm not fucking 16, 17 years old. Like, I don't give a fuck about these skins. And then you're going to have the gameplay problem from identity. You're going to have crossover and not understand who's who. And you're going to have misdirection of information on the battlefield, right? You're going to have confusion. And we need to avoid that at any cost. We need to keep the player base intact. We need to keep the community, for the most part, on the same page. And if they go down this road here of just going more exotic and more chaotic and more on the Call of Duty side of things, I don't think it's going to bode well. So peeps, tell me what you think. Is Moy Dog laying down the law here? Is he speaking from an objectively good point of view? Is he? Tell me what you guys think. Me personally, I feel as though he has a lot of good points that he expressed within this video. There is going to be a crossroads that we come upon that we are ultimately going to have to make a choice on, right? Either we support the bullshit or we simply don't, okay? Again, me, myself, personally, I really don't trip off of skins, but within Battlefield, right? And within the Battlefield 6 experience, especially now, it can hinder the experience if this is not done with integrity and respect. And again, Battlefield 6 was sold to us upon the idea of being a more grounded, realistic shooter that we could all lean into. Now we're kind of getting these exotic looking skins and things coming around the corner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're sort of in the Twilight Zone. Okay, so we don't know what's going on, but this is interesting to discuss nonetheless. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you guys did not check out my last Battlefield 6 video, it was a banger. Be sure to click here and I'll be sure to see you there.